Hey everyone, welcome back to another Pythonic Accountant video. So GPT Chat is at capacity right now, so we're going to take a break from doing that and go back to some normal Python. Today we're going to show something really cool that I've been playing around with lately, which is an automated Python scheduler. You can use it for automating anything, but I like using it for Python. So this is a application, or it's a online tool called Airplane. There's a lot of different versions of it you can use. I'm using the free version, which allows me to do everything that I need. But obviously it's something you can use for teams or for an enterprise. But all I'm using it for is one of the environments having kind of an automated task scheduler. The cool thing is I can write Python code, upload it, and then schedule the task. So I'm going to show you what that looks like right now. And I haven't even done it yet with this account, so I'm going to show you end-to-end how to do it. So I've already obviously signed up for an account and activated it via email, but all the rest we're going to work on together. So first you need whatever code you want to run. So what we're going to do here is I've already written a little bit of this code. It's super simple, not very long. It looks for a main function is what it likes, otherwise it'll throw an error at you. And so I'm just going to write inside this main function. What the purpose of this is in this example is let's say I want to grab the current top stock gainers of the day or at the specific time. So what I'm going to do is use pandas and requests. And quick tip, by the way, the reason why I'm using requests here, normally you can feed in a URL directly into pandas, but sometimes websites try to prevent bots. And one way that it will throw you an error is if you try to grab something using pandas, it might say, oh, that's a bot. For whatever reason, the way that the Python using pandas tries to go there will give you an error. So I'll show you what happens when I try to do that. Let's see if I do df equals pd.read HTML and then throw in the URL there. It's probably going to throw some kind of error. Yeah, 403 forbidden. So sorry, you're not allowed. But if I do just something simple as r equals requests.get, and then instead of throwing in the URL here, I throw the results of request.get, which is going to be the HTML, this should work fine, and it makes it happy. And then what I get from that is the full table. So I'm going to do the first table in here, and it gives me everything I need, which is pretty awesome. So what we're going to do is I'm going to delete this out because I already wrote that code down below. And let's say we want to create something that gives me every 30 minutes the updated top 10 stock gainers. And so what I'm doing here is I've got my main function, which I've got the URL, I've got the request.get, and then I'm feeding that into my pandas data frame. I'm grabbing the first table because that's the one I want. And then what I'm telling you is I want the first 10 records and I want everything but the last column, because the last column, if I don't do that, then it just gives me this like blank column, which I don't really care about. And you'll see here, it'll say unnamed 8. So I'm like, I don't want that. So what this does is this gives me everything but the last column. And so that's really all I need for my code. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to follow the instructions for Airplane to create a new schedule or activity. So let's see. I want to create a, let's see, is this going to work? New task. And then it's going to walk me through the steps I need to take. I want to do Python. And I'm going to call it stock gainers. And continue. And I'm not going to do any variables or resources. Let's just kind of create the task and see what happens. I am going to have to install the Airplane CLI, which I think I've already installed, but it's very simple to do so. So let's go ahead and create task. And this says, okay, install the CLI. So to deploy, first you have to install the CLI, which I've done. Let's see if I can type in Airplane login and if it works. Perfect, that works. So what you would want to do is follow the instructions for your operating system to install it. It's very straightforward. And then once you do it, you can do Airplane login. And what you'll do then is it says enter your token from here. So I'm going to click that, and it's going to get my token. Maybe I need to do this and give you my token so that way I can, come on, you can do it. Here we go. Oh, it's trying to do it over here. Doesn't like that one, though. All right. Give me my token, please. Then I'm going to copy. Here we go. Copy to clipboard and paste that in here. And I'm all set. Fantastic. Okay, what's next? Now I'm going to initialize task code. So let's copy this and paste it here. And I haven't written the code in my in here yet. I've just got in Colab, so I'm gonna have to copy and paste it into a file. I'll show you how to do that. So where is the script for this task? Well, I don't have that written yet. So I'm just going to put it in stockgainers.py, so that's fine. And the file to create the definitions, that's fine, task YAML. And so now what I need to do is edit my files. So let's go ahead and edit the, I'm going to use Vim. If you don't know what Vim is, check it out. It's old school. A lot of people like it. It's a little more complex how to use it, but I enjoy it. But it's kind of like a manual way to edit your files. So vi stockgainers.py, and here we go. So this is my data or my main function. So I'm just going to delete all the stuff that they have here as placeholders because I don't need any of that. And what I'm going to do is just type in the code that I have here. So, whoops. Okay. So I'm going to import pandas SPD, import, and you can use a regular text editor for this. I'm just using Vim because I like it sometimes. Import requests. And I'm doing this all in main. It doesn't really matter. So then URL equals yes. Okay. Perfect. And then I equals requests. Get, whoops, gotta spell it right. URL. And then df.read HTML. First 10 rows, and then up to the last column, and that's it. Now let's test this out. Python 3 stockgainers.py, and it hopefully will work. Oh, I forgot one thing. It's not going to run the main function. If it's going to do that when I upload it, but it's not going to do that if I just try to run the file. So there's a trick I do here. If name equals main, then run the main thing. And params, let's make that optional. Equals none. And let's try to run this, and hopefully it gives me back a response. If it works, then we're in business. Oh, I better spell request right. REQUESTS. Try it again. Let's see if we get the answer. Oh, why did it not work? Oh, because, yeah. Let's do print the response because it returned it, but it didn't do anything with the return value. See, you guys are learning stuff even as I make mistakes. There we go. Perfect. Gave me everything I need. It's not the exact format that I wanted in, but I don't really care. It's good enough to show kind of what it's going to look like. And you can play around with the output as you would like. So we've got the working Python function in the right file. We do need a requirements file. So what it's going to do is it's going to tell the airplane when I load it up what libraries I need. So I obviously need pandas and requests. So I'm going to do requirements.txt, and I'm just going to type in pandas, requests. It's best practice to specify versions here, but I don't really care and it shouldn't really make a difference. So this should work. So now what I'm going to do is initialize task code. So I think I did that. Oh, okay. Now let's do this. Airplane tasks init from equals. Oh, I already did that one. Because I copied and pasted. Now I need to deploy it. So yeah, let's just deploy this puppy. Let's see if it works. I should have everything all set up. Are you sure you want to deploy? Yes. So now it's going to upload the files, and it's a very small set of files. So that's great. It should be quick. It's going to then install the environment install those libraries that it needs, which is the request and pandas libraries. And then once that's done, it should show up here in my list of, okay, here's my stock gainers, and it's probably still deploying, so it's not going to give me an option to run this yet. But once it's uploaded, I should be able to run the code from here, and it will give me back the results in this screen here. One thing I've done to really make a more improved automation process in my other ones that I play around with is create an email notification system, so it can actually email me the results when it's done. But for purposes of this one, I'm just going to show you how it will display the results here. So it looks like it's successful. So I'm going to go to stock gainers now. And awesome. Okay, let's test this out. Execute task. It's going to run it, and it should give me the results here. So let's see if it works. Run created. Starting run. Oh, LXML not found. All right, let's update my requirements.txt to add the LXML. Okay, done. Let's deploy this again. And what that's going to do is that's going to go back and redeploy everything. It should only take a minute to do so because it's... hopefully that's not an error message here. Oh, no, it's just a bunch of text. Or maybe not. Whatever. We'll see what happens. So it's trying to update everything. And once it says it's done, we'll try this again, see if we get another error. And then once we get it working, what we're going to do is I'll show you how we can actually set it to automatically run on a regular basis. So let's go back, stock gainers, and once it is done pushing the image, we will run it. Okay, execute task. Will it work this time? Let's see. Is gonna work. You can do it. Come on, airplane. Let's take off. Starting run. Didn't crash. Oh, it crashed. Oh, great. Another library needs. HTML lib5. All right, let's try this again. Bear with me, guys. We're going to get there. And deploy again. So I can, while it's doing this, I'm going to show you how to create a schedule. So if I click New Schedule, this is cool. This is a typical cron scheduler. So you have a simple one and then cron, which involves a little bit more specifics on syntax. Simple is I can either do it every minute, every hour, every day, every week, or every month. If you want to do it like every 5 minutes, that's where you have to go to the cron. But the cool thing is I can say, okay, this is every hour, every month, every day of the week. But I can do it, this is right now on minutes 0. So that's why it says it's going to do it on the hour every hour. But if I want to do it every 5 minutes, I can do 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, etc. But so I'm going to go back and let's just do it every minute and create schedule. And this is just going to automatically start running, which is pretty cool. But let's go ahead. Okay, it says it's done. I'm going to execute it and see if it works. But what it's going to continue doing is, why do you need beautiful soup? Still failing. All right, let's add beautiful soup. Probably would have been a better way to do this is figure out which libraries I needed and get them all up front. But now it's going to keep trying to run it automatically, and it's going to keep erroring out every time it doesn't work. And then when it finally works, it'll be happy and successful. The cool thing is it'll send me email notifications every time it runs if it fails. So that way, if you have something that's automatically scheduled, if it fails, you'll get notified via email, which is really awesome. Okay. Is it going to work this time? Who knows? Let's see. And what's cool is you have a record, too, of all of the recent runs that you've got. So stock gainers, you can click on it based on whichever time it was, and it says, okay, this is the error that I had in this one. Go back here, and you can look at the original one. We had a different error, AlexML not found. But then once you start to get the correct results, like if it works correctly, then you'll be able to view the previous results, which is very cool. So if you're looking at like stock values over time, that's really useful. No tables found. Oh, interesting. So it looked like my code all worked correctly, except there were no tables found in the file. So let's try now. Python 3 and stockgainers.py. Let's see if I get the same error locally. That's weird. So I get the correct response here, but it's not working in the uploaded version. So the only thing I can think of is there's something funky going on with the version of Python, because my Python version here is different, I think. So this is Python 3.7.7, and same thing with my requests and pandas libraries. They may be slightly different versions, so I'm not sure what the deal is. So let's just change this a little bit. This is going to be, oops, that's not what I would do. I'm going to go in and edit my code, vi, and it is the stockgainers.py file. And what I'm going to do is, instead of responding with the data frame, it is going to, I'm just going to give it the actual data from the HTML. So let's do return r.text, and let's do the first 200 characters. So this isn't going to be very useful because, obviously we're having some issues here with getting the different versions to work consistently. So there's probably a way I can tell the airplane that I want the specific version that I have here. And maybe I'll do that in the next video. But for now, I just want to try to get it working. So hopefully this will give us a response of the first several hundred characters of the underlying HTML, just so I can show you, okay, here it is actually working. And then the next one, I can see if there's a way to tell Airplane, hey, I want this specific version of Python and the libraries. That way I know if I get it working locally, it'll also work in their environment here. Okay, so I've got it up. Now let's see if I can finally get this puppy working and show you guys how cool this is. Because you're probably sitting there going, well, that's lame. If you can't get it working, how am I going to use this? And there we go. I got it working. It gave me the first few hundred characters. This is obviously HTML. This is not useful at all because it doesn't give you any of the stuff that you need. But the cool thing is it's now working, and it's going to continue running constantly. So like if I went in and edited this and said, you know what, instead of the first 200 characters, I just want everything, all of r.text, and then deployed this. And this is continuing to run automatically. Like I don't have to even execute it manually because it's scheduled to run every minute. So at 10:47 it's going to run again. 10:48 or not 10:48. 10:48 because those are the individual minutes. And this is uploading the new version that I just edited. And let's see if it will give me the full HTML this time. Again, not something you would actually probably want to do. Get the HTML back. You probably want to process it and get the data. But this is just kind of an example of showing how you can get it working. So final execution, full HTML. Let's make sure that works. And then we'll go from there. And boom, there you have it. Get the full response. And aha! Interesting. So this is why we are not able to get a table, is because the website has figured out that we are trying to get stuff from a bot. So it says, you are unable to access investing.com. No screenshot error. This website is using a security service to protect itself from online attacks. The action you just performed triggered the security solution. Several actions that could trigger it, including a certain word or phrase. This is fascinating. So, not something that we would probably be able to use. I wonder if it's because I tried to submit it too many times or just figured out that we're a bot. But you know what? We're going to... now I have a challenge accepted here. I'm going to figure out how to get around this, and I'm going to use Selenium. So in our next video, we're going to replace our code using Selenium so it thinks it's an actual computer contacting the web page. We're going to get the HTML. We're also going to get the data working in a Pandas data frame so we can get the results back, and then show you how we finally will have an updated minute-by-minute response of those top 10 stocks. And then maybe in the video after, we'll show you can set up an automatic emailer so it emails to you as well. So that'll be pretty cool. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed sitting here through some of the issues I was resolving as we went along. And we'll see you at the next one.